everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is kind of an interesting one. I almost called this video, I wish I hadn't been raised Christian, but that seemed a little bit rash. So I'm just the subject of this video is just, do new believers have an advantage over, long-term believers? Let me give you a little backstory to this theory. I have been Christian all my life. I was raised in the church. My parents are Christians and they took us to church every single week. And I was taught everything about God. I was taught about faith. I was taught about God's love. Everything that a little girl is taught in church, I was taught. And I grew up believing everything that I was taught. Just because, I believed it. My parents were telling me it. The church was telling me it. I grew up believing these things, but I didn't actually truly experience them necessarily until a while later. So for me personally, everything relating to God, well, most things relating to God and the church have just been familiar to me for years since I was a kid. And they've just been ingrained into my mind and my soul for all these years. My transition from just being, a regular minded person to a Christian, it was very gradual, and it was more so me just maturing in the faith and learning how to experience God for myself instead of just, going through the motions and, believing everything that I was taught. So I am extremely grateful for my upbringing. I'm grateful that my parents raised me and my siblings in the church. I'm grateful that I had that early introduction to God and things of that nature. Let me just say, I love the Lord with all my heart. I have been growing deeper and deeper in love with the Lord. I have been maturing in my faith, and I'm just so grateful for where I am spiritually. I'm grateful for where I am compared to where I used to be. With that being said, let me get to the point of this video, which is, do new believers have an advantage over people like myself who were raised in the church? And I say this because this is just a theory. I've just noticed certain things over the past few months or years, I don't know. So basically, there's those people who, you used to know or you do know, and they were never Christian before. And then all of a sudden, like on Facebook, you see, oh, so-and-so is a Christian, a new believer now. It's great news. And someone who was never a big believer is now posting how grateful they are to be loved by God, how excited they are about their new faith, and all of that nature. And it's great to see. And I just realized, like, whoa, it's mainly new believers that I see who are so excited and so passionate. Like, it's wow, like they've just discovered the best possible thing you can in this world, which they did. However, I don't see as many seasoned believers who are so enthusiastic and so on fire publicly, like on social media and all that. And not to say that they aren't there, like, my Christian friends, and they post and whatever, they not even just posting, but they're open about their faith. But I don't know, I've just been so impressed by the new believers who were never Christian, the new believers who were not Christian before, but they're new and they're just so on fire. And I'm just like, whoa, why am I not that on fire for God, like publicly? And it just made me like have to look at myself like, whoa, these people who have known God for like 30 seconds, they're so on fire. Like, why should we who have been, in the church for all these years, we have no excuse to not be on that level of on fire for God. And it should just make me want to be better. And, it kind of reminded me of this movie that I watched called The Space Between Us. Spoiler alert if you have not seen this, but I'm about to give you the whole synopsis. Basically, it's about a boy who, he was born in space, but he was raised on Mars. So he never saw Earth. He did not know, besides like movies and books or whatever, he did not experience Earth until he was like 16 years old when they took him to Earth. And when he got to Earth, he was just in complete awe of everything he saw. The colors, the ocean, even the sky was different and impressive to him because he had never experienced anything beyond Mars. And Mars is literally just like red dirt everywhere. And every time, this is something that he started doing, he was so excited to be on Earth and experience everything that was new to him. He would go around to people on Earth and ask them this one question. And this one question was, what's your favorite thing about Earth? And obviously, you know, if you ask someone who's lived on Earth and like we've never known anything else. We've lived on Earth our whole lives. So to be asked a question like that, it's like, what's my favorite thing about Earth? I don't know. I've been here, I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know what my favorite thing about Earth is. Anyways, to me, it kind of emulates the experience of new believers. To someone who has never known God or anything about God for their entire lives, like if you were to be raised, let's say you were raised atheist in just a terrible upbringing, not saying that everyone who is atheist or non-Christian has a terrible upbringing. This is just the example that I'm using. Like, let's just say you had a terrible upbringing or even a normal upbringing and your life was just normal. Honestly, I cannot even fathom life without God, so bear with me. I'm trying to imagine what life would have been like for me having been raised in a normal, just non-faith based upbringing. Honestly, I just don't remember. I don't remember not knowing God, essentially. So it's, for me, for someone like me, God has just been always a constant part of my life. Even though I started off with, you know, a weak faith as a child, which grew into the faith that I have now, it's not a brand new concept to me. So if you were to take, on the contrary, someone who, you know, didn't know God at all, and now all of a sudden they know Jesus and they have a brand new life, they've been, you know, transformed, their mind has been open to so many new things that they did not know about life in itself. You know how much, so much stuff about life can be revealed through God that you didn't know, and to have that instantly change for you, like overnight or even over a few days, like that's mind-blowing. I can't even imagine what it would be like to not know God one day and then all of a sudden, boom, everything is just changed. So that's how I think that it's different for new believers compared to, you know, people who were raised in the faith. I'm not saying that I wish that I hadn't been raised Christian. In a way, I just admire, maybe even like envy, just the experience of a new believer to have such a drastic change in your life. It's like, I just feel like you appreciate something much more when it adds so much more to the life than before. You know what I mean? I appreciate God. I love the Lord. I'm not trying to downplay like my own faith because I am in a great spot with God, but I just imagine what it would be like to be a new believer at the stage of life that I'm at now, to have that drastic shift. Like, that must be amazing, to be honest. So, you know what? I just admire you if you're a new believer. I admire the life that you have, and I just wonder what would it have been like if I had just not known God one day and then boom, a dramatic change in my life and God is suddenly here and everything is just different and whoa. So maybe that's why I see a lot of newer believers just, you know, you can't shut up about something that changes your life so drastically. And I hope this video was easy to understand because, you know, this is just me talking and spewing my ideas out loud. But yeah, all in all, I think that I want to try to be more enthusiastic and on fire for God, as if he changed my life just like that. Because at the end of the day, whether or not you've been a believer for, you know, 30 seconds or 30 years, the impact that God has on your life is equal. It's still humongous. It doesn't matter how long you've been Christian, how long you've known Jesus, God's impact on your life, his salvation for you is still astronomical. I think we all should get to that level of, you know, acting like God really did save our life, and acting like, you know, we would be doomed without him, because it's true for all of us. So yeah, I hope this video, you know, was easy to understand, or if you can even understand where I'm coming from. I hope you can. That's all for now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!